The last Hornet stage introduces a lot of what X3 is all about. Capcom's fetish for absurdly slow elevators and male pregnancy, a bizarre assortment of painfully empty areas, and everything wrong with rock music in the past 15 years. Okay, this stage's theme is actually pretty damn good despite catering to X3's grunge obsession. Blast Hornet makes up for his peculiar ability to shit out babies by being both a badass and a very fun fight, and the stage itself carries tricky moments in its second half. These tendencies still show up throughout the game, and I have nothing else to mention during the terribly uneventful first portion of the stage, so unless you want me going on a tangent about my feelings... Oh wait, I can mention something about those red enemies, thank Christ. The reason I'm tackling Blast Hornet first, outside of a monumental lack of originality given it's the first thing that shows up on stage select, is those fucking red missile firing eggs with feet. Their grenade lobbing attack is no end of aggravation in later stages when they're placed on or above ledges and climbs. Tackling Blast Hornet first downgrades these enemies until Doppler's lab, eliminating that attack and making my life a lot easier. This is achieved by blessing of the single stupidest moment in the game, but we'll get to that later. First is the coolest mini-boss in the game and a reminder that yes, Capcom still has that fancy CX4 chip, thanks for asking. This guy has some tricky behavior. You want to watch when you fire in the first pattern because he'll jump anytime he's hit. In the final two though, he's just repeating the same movement he does every time, so one fight is enough to cue you in. This is also, if I'm remembering properly, the only mini-boss in X3 with invincibility time outside of some Doppler horrors, if you were wondering why I didn't just pellet the fucker out of his misery. This second portion is a subtle pain in the ass. It involves climbing several armory towers and getting knocked the fuck back down by missiles firing out of nowhere. The helicopter enemies are some of the most annoying in the game. They fire immediately upon entering the screen and are usually placed in areas where they'll easily catch you by crossfire. In this segment, a fast initial climb with some careful firing while walking along the top keeps you from getting wasted, but they'll show up plenty in the future. And now for the most thrilling goddamn thing ever. Look at this shit. A robot slowly places a crate and then flies away. Damn, what the fuck happens next? A robot slowly places a crate and then flies away. Still feeling unfulfilled? These fun engines repeat it several more times just in case anyone hadn't already shit themselves from the excitement. I'm sorry, am I playing X6? Whose brilliant idea was it to stick this monotonous nonsense in the middle of nowhere? The idea is supposed to be that you're destroying weapon shipments for the remaining stages, but if blowing up 9 crates is enough to ravage Doppler's army, it makes one wonder why the game doesn't chronicle X sitting on a couch waiting for the Daily News to announce the good doctor's bankruptcy. After the quote-unquote mini-boss's very delayed end, we regain control and it's off to the last little portion. Those who are unfamiliar with X3 might question whether that door isn't even Blunt or Fuck You or the most poorly hidden optional boss room ever. They're neither actually. During X3, 2 of Doppler's minions deign to stand in your way, apparently at your convenience, and these rooms, present in every stage, are where you fight them. Unlike the X-Hunters, these can't be avoided and they can't be predicted. They show up randomly between set numbers of completed stages. This final small area demonstrates Doppler's questionable packaging experience and why I hate the red enemies so much. Those missiles can very easily sneak up on you if you aren't watching, and their grenades are equally annoying, so I certainly don't want any being thrown down a crevice while I'm trying to climb it. Now for someone I suggest you never look up in Google Images with Safe Search turned off. Blast Hornet is a very fun fight because of how involved this pattern is. X3 is really the first X game to actively incorporate second phases based on boss health, even though X2 toyed around with the notion. The first half is easy to get caught off guard by until you realize the charge shot is an almighty thing. As long as you clear the bulk of the lower drones and keep moving when he tries to sting you, you'll be fine. In the second half, tactics change completely and those blue balls in his sack become horrifyingly clear, and I probably could have worded that better. There are numerous ways to deal with what seems like an overwhelming pattern. Whenever you fire on Hornet, his spawning is interrupted. This stops a small army of his babies from homing in on you. I don't do it, but you can also toy with his homing cursor with some clever movement, and leaving one baby alive for a while allows some easy dodging and delays the next batch. Overall, an entertaining fight that can really slip you up before you figure out how it works. Next up is Blizzard Buffalo, whose stage is a fucking funhouse. It's rather depressing that I need to audibly clarify emotion, but that was sincere, so look forward to it.